Hey everyone, how's it going? It's been a while. I always say this at the beginning of my videos. How's it going? Hope everyone's doing well. It's already October. We have like 2 more months for 2019. I absolutely cannot wait for this year to be over already, for Christmas to be here and everything. This year I think flew by so quickly. So today, we are going to do a book haul. I am going to do a book haul. I'm going to show you guys all the books I've accumulated over the past couple of months or so. It's been a while since I've done such like a big book haul, but this is the first one in a long time. Video dedicated to consumerism at its finest. Without any further ado, let me show you guys all the books I've accumulated. This video is being sponsored by Disney Book Group in celebration in honor of the recent release, I might add, of the fourth book of the Trials of Apollo. This is The Tyrant's Tomb by Rick Riordan. So this is the fourth book, and it's not the last. I believe there's another book coming out after this. This one basically chronicalizes. This book basically chronicalizing. I'm a booktuber, I swear. So this book follows our main protagonist, Apollo, a Greek god who is actually cast out of Olympus by Zeus in order to return to his former glory of being a god again. He has to perform these certain tasks and eventually win over Zeus's favor again. These 4 books, or ongoing series, follows his adventures. Follows yet another big adventure of Apollo where he has to team up with his demigod allies and fight against the evil king who is about to literally raise the dead and, you know, save the world, because what else is new? It's out already, came out on September 24th. This is just like a little appreciation, I guess, digressing just a bit, but for Rick Riordan, I remember reading the Percy Jackson books and the Kane Chronicles and the Heroes of Olympus, and he has like Magnus Chase, and on this series, it's just so many books have been on like, I think over 20 of his books have been #1 on the New York Times bestseller list, which is an incredible feat. All of his books are just amazing. They're so action-packed. A lot of his books are really diverse, especially with people of color and LGBTQ rep. So if you guys are looking for just a fun adventure and just good time, highly recommend Rick's books in general. This is the 4th, not the last book of the series. It's out now. I will leave a link down below in case you guys want to pick it up. Thank you again to Disney Book Group for sending me this copy as well as this awesome t-shirt. Alright, so now let's sit back, kick back, and relax and get into these books. Okay, brought the camera a little closer. First, a book. Actually, it's an arc that I wanted to show you guys. This was actually sent to me by Penguin Random House. So thank you to them for sending me this book. It's a thriller book too. I've read a couple books from this author already, and it's The Other People by C.J. Tudor. This book comes out actually of next year in January, which is like only 3 months away. So this basically follows a father who has a missing child, and everyone just given up on searching for this missing kid. It's been a long time. He, however, has not given up because he swears he saw his daughter's face in a like moving vehicle driving away with her in it. And he meets up with this other group of people called the Other People. They're called the Other People because they have lost people, things, whatnot. These other people are somewhat dangerous, I assume, because they want to inflict the pain and anguish that they felt on other people. Lots of people in here. I'm not sure I'm explaining this correctly, but that's pretty much all I know. It's C.J. Tudor. She's written other books like The Chalk Man, The Hiding Place, which I thoroughly enjoyed. It was very creepy, very gruesome, very bloody. It's a good time. This is another psychological thriller, and I'm really excited to get into. Thank you again to Penguin Random House for sending me a copy of this art. So the next book I wanted to show you has black stained pages, which is freaking awesome. Gotta keep everything PG here because we are being sponsored, people. This one is Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. I picked this one up because all I heard was lesbian necromancers. That's pretty much it. I don't even know what this book is about. All it has is lesbian necromancers, and I was like, I'm already here for it. And it also has black stained pages. That's pretty much all I had going for it. So the next book I picked up is called The Grace Year. I actually just literally never heard of this book before. Saw this at Target, picked it up, read the synopsis, was kind of confused on what the book is actually about. So basically it's about a group of girls who have the power to basically make other girls jealous because they can take their man away, which is like a cool, decent power, I guess, if you want to, you know, sabotage relationships. You know, in order for them not to do this, they're being sent away into the woods on their 16th birthday, where they can, like, just let out all that bad energy, I guess. Is that what it is? So they're banished into the woods on their 16th birthday or something like that, which is insane. One girl, our main character, she realizes that that's not the only danger here. The danger is in themselves, which is kind of self-explanatory, but we'll see how they go with that, because I'm not too sure. I was a little confused by the synopsis. I'm trying to explain as best as I can. So there you go. It's also really interesting because it's like a YA book too. It doesn't look like a YA book, but it's a YA book, and it's like a thriller, sort of like mystery, suspenseful YA book, which is really interesting because I don't read a lot of YA thrillers, but this isn't, I guess, 100% thriller on its own. It has some sort of like, I don't know, Wilder Girl vibes. I haven't even read Wilder Girl. So the next book I picked up is also a YA thriller, which is another rare find because I literally just found this on the shelf at an Amazon bookstore, and I picked it up, read the synopsis, and was kind of interested. This one is called Keep This to Yourself, and this is by Tom Ryan. This is about a small town who is shook by just murders. What little town is it? Main character, he's gay, which is nice, because I haven't really read a lot of thrillers with just gay characters, you know? So, wait, is he gay? Never mind. I don't think he's gay. I read that wrong. I thought he was gay. Anyway, it's about an 18-year-old dude who... No, that's not it. Oh, never mind. He is gay. So this is nice. The main character is an 18-year-old gay dude, and, you know, rare for me to read about a gay dude in a thriller who is the main character. Usually they're killed off or something bad happens to them, or they're written off as side characters. But in this case, he's a main character. Basically, he wants to try to find who killed his best friend, his childhood best friend, and with the help of strangers and friends, he's trying to find out who in this small town is responsible for all these deaths. That's all I know. That's pretty much it. I believe the author is also gay. So this is a gay book. 100% gay. Thriller. Here for it. The next book I picked up is also a thriller, but adults. It's Here to Stay by Mark Edwards. Husband who finds out secrets about his wife's, family, and he wants to protect her at all costs. He kind of sounds uptight. Her family sounds kind of uptight. White people generally tend to do that. So this sounds interesting. The wife has scars on her body. She has a sister who's very brooding and just very mysterious. Her family's very controlling, it seems. The more he dives into her past, the more disturbing things apparently he's probably going to find. So that's the gist of this book. This one was actually an interesting find. I found this at a used bookstore, and I was like, you know what, why not? This woman has written basically my favorite series of all time. I'll just give it a shot. I'll give it a chance, to read one of the first books that she has written. Everyone starts somewhere, right? This one is Shiver by Mag Stiefvater. I have never read any of her works before The Raven Cycle. I've read The Raven Cycle, and I've read All the Crooked Saints. I haven't read Scorpio Races or Shiver. Books were written before The Raven Cycle, and I've heard, basically negative things about this book. It's about, werewolves. It's about a girl who realizes that her crush is a werewolf. It's all about that Twilight paranormal phase back in the day. So we'll see. I might do a vlog about this. Reading my favorite author's, first books that she's written or something like that. That's a really bad title, by the way. Not the final title, working title. Everyone and their mother basically knows the premise of this book, but if you didn't know, I don't even know because I have to go back and read the synopsis. It's about two people who are vibing with each other. They shiver in their presence. I guess it hence the title on that kind of play, if you know what I mean. All right, the next book I picked up is one of my anticipated reads. Not most, but this is one of my anticipated reads of the year. It's called Bone Houses, and it's by Emily Lloyd Jones, and it's basically about two people. Oh, that's the receipt. I don't want to look at that. What is this book about again? So it's about these two teenagers who basically fall in love with each other, but probably at the end of this book. These dead corpses that rise up, they're called bone houses because apparently they hold curses, in themselves, and they're attacking the town. And, save the world and this town, of course, we're leaving everything in the hands of these two special teenagers to go and find, an answer to these curses and save the world and save the day at the end. And they'll probably fall in love, and, I'm kind of here for it. Really like the cover. And that's pretty much all I have to say about this book. Next book I picked up, Middle Game by Shauna McGuire. I picked this one up because Lala from Books and Lala, I Trust a Judgment. She has recommended this book so many times. Apparently this is her favorite. So I'm trusting you, Lala. If you're watching this, I'm going to go ahead and give this book a chance. I haven't read any Shauna McGuire books. I've constantly heard so many great things about them. Specifically her other series, The Wayward Children. The Wayward Children? I don't even know. What is it? I have that book somewhere. Okay. What are her series called? Yeah, Every Heart a Doorway. That series, I've heard so many good things about it. I haven't read it yet. They're super short. But this apparently follows... So this apparently is about these two people, a girl and a boy, who have, certain knack for certain things. I think the girl's good with numbers. Yeah, and the dude is, good with languages and words, apparently. So they're not gods, or not yet. So the blurb says that godhood is attainable, pray isn't attained, which sounds ominous, which sounds bad enough. So generic. It sounds interesting. Sounds like actually a book that I would thoroughly enjoy. Heard sort of mixed things about it as well, but we'll see. Next book I picked up is Frankly in Love by David Yoon. This guy is the author. This guy's the author, and he is also the husband of Nicola Yoon, which I did not know. And this book has blue stained pages. Honestly, stained pages in a book are my weakness. So this design for this book, fantastic. 10 out of 10. This book is about a Korean American student. He apparently has really strict parents, which I can relate. And they kind of, expect him to end up with a nice Korean girl. Apparently he has this nice white girlfriend, comes up with this plan with another girl who's in the same predicament as he is, and she has strict parents, so this guy and this girl are pretending, I guess, to be in a relationship. But let me just tell you right now, I'm pretty sure at the end of this book, one of them is going to be single or they're going to get together. I'm calling it right now. I don't really read contemporary, but this sounds really interesting, and also Asian representation, so here for it. Okay, the next book I picked up purely because it was high fantasy and I know absolutely nothing about it. This is A Little Hatred by Joe Abercrombie. I've heard a lot of things about this author. I literally picked it up because of the cover, and I was like, I read the synopsis, didn't even remember what it was. I'm like, high fantasy? Cool. I kind of want to get into like high fantasy again. So you guys should let me know down in the comments below if you guys have any recommendation for like high fantasy. I've read The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I've read Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. And I recently purchased the first book in the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan. They're making like an Amazon TV series about it. And that series is like 13 books long. Who knows if I will ever commit to it, but we'll see. Joe Abercrombie has written a series and tons of other high fantasy books. So actually I have another book by him. It's called Half a King. I haven't read that one yet, but I picked this one up. I don't know. So we'll see. So the next book I picked up and actually finished and read, and I think I'm going to give this book 3 out of 5 stars. I'm not sure yet. It's between a 3 and a 4. And it's Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. This book sounded interesting enough, but I think it wasn't able to deliver on what I was hoping it would. That didn't really make any sense. But this book follows a girl who's being recruited by Yale to basically monitor these secret societies. Now, going into this book, I did not know that this book would have magic in it, but it does. It's like basically pure magic, and it revolves around magic 24/7. I was just really confused. Just 50% of like this whole book. Beginning, middle, and end, I was confused. I think the whole time. I think this book is like non-linear in terms of like understanding magic and everything, because you're already going to this book, you're like an outsider, going to this magic system that has already been established. Like pretend you're going to a different country for the first time and everyone speaks a different language. I think this is what it was like for me reading this book, because I can't believe it's only going to be a duology, I think. This isn't a book where it'll explain to you like what the magic system is in the beginning. You find out more in the middle, and by the end you'll understand everything. By the end of this book, like there's so many new concepts of magic and everything that I didn't even understand, and I'm okay with that. It's just a little confusing. There were certain pathways that the author would take, certain directions I thought that would go in, and I wanted to know more about it. I wanted to just expand on that a little bit more, or like certain questions. Instead, it didn't fully deliver, I guess. Again, it deserves all the hype, and Leigh Bardugo wrote another fantastic book. I thoroughly enjoyed it. 3 stars isn't a bad rating at all. It's just maybe I was a little tad disappointed. It didn't fully deliver on what I was expecting, but that's okay. I mean, I'm really excited to read the second book, but that's pretty much the short gist on what I have for this book. This is an adult book, and so many people, it's really funny, I guess also because Leigh Bardugo, she's primarily a YA author, but this is her first adult book. There are so many, I guess, YA readers who read these books that when they're heard about her writing about an adult book, of course they're going to read it, but just keep in mind, children, this is a very adult book. We have come to the end of this book haul, and the last book I'm going to talk about is I'll Be Gone in the Dark. This one is by Michelle McNamara, and this is like a true crime book. It's basically about a woman in her research for the Golden State Killer who was eventually caught because of this book, which is mind-blowing. I've heard so many phenomenal good things about this book, and I can't wait to dive into it. I found it at the used bookstore in like this pristine, awesome condition, and I picked it up. That's pretty much it for this book haul. I think this might be the last book haul of the year. We only have a couple months in, and knowing me and how I film, my schedule, and my consistency at filming, yeah, it's pretty much gonna be the last one. Don't forget, this video was being sponsored, so if you guys are So again, thank you to Disney Booker for sponsoring me this video and for sending me a copy of The Tyrant's Tomb, the 4th book in the Trials of Apollo by Rick Riordan. So this book is in stores now, and I will leave a link down below in case you guys are interested in picking it up. In case you guys didn't know, this is sort of like a new setup. I will do a room tour in like a year or two, maybe, when I get things settled. In case you guys didn't know, I was in an episode of YouTube Originals, which was very exciting, and I can't wait for all of you guys to watch it. Just kind of nervous, a little stressed out myself. Oh my god, I was so nervous filming that episode. Everyone was super welcoming, but it was a grand time. It was a fun time. It was a good time. The first episode is out this Thursday. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys all soon with a new video. Goodbye.